Hi, air signs. I'm here with your June 2019 outlook. This is a general reading, as most of my other ones are. So take what resonates, toss the rest. If nothing here resonates and you're an air sign, you may want to also check your moon, rising, and even Venus and deeper into your natal chart. I think it's Cafe Astrology is the website, I believe, where you can actually get a free natal chart. And you don't have to sign up for an email even. You can just input the information and you get a bunch of details. So it's really nice, a really nice way to go about finding out more information about yourself if you don't already have it. So I realize I'm a little bit early doing this, but the month of May has been a whirlwind. It's going by very quickly. Memorial Day weekend is already next weekend, and I'm actually leaving town for vacation the following week. And then when I get back, it's going to be June. So I just wanted to try to get a jump start on this. And like I said, this is air signs. And I decided to do air signs first because June is Gemini season, summer solstice. And last time I did earth signs first. So I might, that might be how I start rotating as far as at least which, to be fair, which element group gets to go first. But if there's a particularly, strong energy pulling me to a certain sign, obviously I'll do that. But there were a lot of different decks that wanted to be here today. I kept, and some of them I've not even used on the videos or even that often. So we'll just see if what comes out. I also have this gorgeous fluorite wand that I purchased in Sedona the last time I was there in last October. This is absolutely just stunning. I've just been really drawn to it the last week or so. So I'm not sure if it's because of the full moon energy or what, but I just want to show you this. This is here. You probably can't see it in the video. I have to keep it sorted out of the way for the cards, but it's absolutely beautiful. We're going to just put that right there. All right. Air signs. Let's see what your general situation is right now. What's coming in June? Spirit guides, and masters, please use me as a clear channel. Message. Most people in this collective need to hear this message. General message. This is this. I don't think I just said it. It's the Star Tarot. Probably my favorite deck. All right. Okay, that was weird. All right, yeah, and that's okay. That's making sense now. Okay. There's a lot going on. A lot of different suits. So as you guys know, the suits represent different elements of your life. Cups are emotions, romanticism, those types of things. Wands are passion, ideas. Swords are more thoughts. And pentacles are the physical, tangible. So you've got every suit represented here. So, and with the general reading, there might just be a lot of random messages that come out because somebody might have a romantic thing going on. Somebody might have a, so just, bear with me if I kind of veer all over the place, but there might be one or two specific messages for one card that are meant, for one person, and then likewise for the other. So bear with me. Okay, so there's this general energy right now, a little bit of heaviness that I'm picking up on. You've got the Ten of Wands, which is my, card where, You maybe feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. You maybe are wanting someone to share the burden with you in the situation. Kind of, I don't know where this was coming from, but maybe it's gonna, wanting to take on the world, maybe, well, maybe with someone, because the blocking energy is the Empress. So there maybe was someone you wanted to take on the world with, and culminate, because 10's a culmination card, right? Um, so that Empress either did not come forward. The Empress can also represent fertility, it can represent something new developing. And so I think some of you too may be having this, because this past couple of weeks the energy is the Five of Cups, and that's the crying over spilled milk card, right? So you can see this person is looking so forlorn because the 3 cups are spilled, but not recognizing that there's 2 still standing, and that there's blessings and sunshine and rainbows and everything that they could possibly have wanted is still there if they turn around. They just need to go in a different direction, because the 3 cups weren't the answer, but they still have other opportunities. So that's sort of what I'm picking up on, is there's this burden that something didn't manifest, something didn't germinate, and it could, I mean, I'm picking up, first of all, I was picking up on a romantic situation. It could also be financial. It could have been with a job, potentially, because the energy that this particular collective is desiring is 9 of Pentacles, which is self-sufficiency, might be self-employment. It's kind of having everything, right? You've got the pet there, you've got the home, you've got the beautiful clothing, you've got everything in the physical, tangible world that you could want. You don't lack for things, right? You're not in the lower realm of the Pentacles where you've gotten the 4s or the 5s where you're feeling kind of lacking. So you're wanting to have that self-sufficiency, right? So there's some slow movement right now, towards that goal, because you've got the Knight of Pentacles here. Knights are just, especially the Knight of Pentacles, he's the slowest moving knight, and he's not quite at king status, right? So I'm picking up on, again, this sense of a missed opportunity, crying over spilled milk, something that you wanted to start isn't coming forward. But maybe what I don't feel as this heavy energy. I feel like maybe, I don't know if it was air signs last month or the month prior. I feel like that had pretty heavy energy in their overall situation. But I feel like what you're maybe realizing now is, okay, and this is maybe where the 9 of Pentacles comes in too, is that I have to work on myself first before I can have someone else come forward, before I can have this culmination, before I can turn around and see these 2 cups, before something new can flourish. I've got to invest in my own work, my own healing, because the action forward is the 4 of Swords. And the 4 of Swords, this deck especially, is kind of like the hibernation card. You can see the bears, and you can see the male there, on his back resting. It's the ultimate resting relaxation card. Some of you may, with it being June, you may be wanting to take a trip, clear your head. A change of scenery might help you change your perspective, right? And see what else is out there besides what's lacking here. So I feel like that's the biggest thing. And I know, I feel like almost every element, we're getting this every month, the 4 of Swords, heal, heal, heal. But, we're spiritual beings in a human body trying to go through this life. And when you start to awaken, when you start to have experiences and you start to realize there's more there, things start coming up for you to deal with and face, and it's very painful. So I know we keep saying in 4 Swords and heal and recoup, but it's essential that you face these things and you put in the work on yourself. You put in the work on yourself to develop your own foundation. And when you do that, you go forward, you can start to close out this cycle of whatever this was. whatever this was that didn't come to fruition, right? This empress that didn't come forward, this job that didn't come forward, whatever it was, when you close that cycle out with the world, when you close that out, what I'm seeing is you are going to overcome the feeling of being trapped. Okay? You're going to overcome that Eight of Swords. You're going to overcome, if you do that inner healing and inner work, this Nine of Wands, right? The Nine of Wands is where you're so, so close. You're so close to getting to that 10, to where you've got all your wands, you've got someone there to help share the burden with you. You've got to balance yourself. And Nine of Wands for me too can be a card about um, unworthiness and lack of confidence. But if you close out these cycles, like I said, to do this healing, do this, focus on your own pentacles, what's going to happen pretty quickly is you're going to surge forward. Eight of Wands. This is a positive charge forward that'll help you put down these swords that you've been holding, this defensiveness, right? You've got a lot of defensive behavior here, patterns, maybe either you were putting up with in a situation or you yourself were that person. And I'm not saying it in a bad way, because I've been that, everybody's that person, right? If you have things that you haven't healed within yourself, this energy is what's going to come out in anytime you're triggered. And not just in a romantic relationship, it can be a work situation where you might get defensive, you might feel like you're being attacked and you're unworthy, or you're trapped, or because you don't have the confidence to break out of the situation. But once you start doing this healing work, you're going to be able to start breaking out of these cycles and make a change. And guess what the outcome is here? The last card is so beautiful, because the Emperor, to me, this shows someone stepping into their power. It's stability, a 4. There's balance here, because you've got the moon and the sun, the dark and the light, the horse there in each of those. And I mean, you guys see me hold these cards up. I'm looking through them just to make sure. None of these, at least the ones okay, yeah, the Nine of Wands does have, they do have the wolves in there that are black and white. But look at how the wand is stabbing the moon right now, right? That full moon, that energy is bringing up a lot of stuff, I think, stirring the pot, kind of bringing up all this stuff that's unbalanced and showing you where you need to heal. And when you get through it, I mean, doesn't this card look a lot more pleasant? I think there's a lot more just happy energy in there. There's warmth. It looks like summer. You've got the lion there. Leo season's in July. I think, and it's almost like, oh, I've never noticed that before. That's interesting. It looks like there's a dragon down at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. There's like a dragon at his feet. It's like once he slays that dragon, whatever that dragon is that has been this, I missed this opportunity, or, this didn't come to fruition, whatever that dragon is, when you close that out, you're going to be able to see this, and you're going to be stepping into the Emperor energy, which is what you want. It's absolutely beautiful. So I don't know that we really need to pull clarifiers on the situation itself, but I'm going to pull some clarifiers as far as what advice there might be around this healing, right? Because again, we got some specifics. It seems to be about crying over spilled milk, something that didn't come to fruition. But there are clearly too some inner wounds that need to be healed, because when you get a lot of these cards that came out, when you get the World that's talking about closing cycles, the Four of Swords, Seven of Swords, Nine of Wands, Eight of Swords, there's a lot of just trapped, there's something that needs to come to the surface and be healed. Oh, and the bottom of the deck, I almost forgot to mention, is the Magician. So that shows me that this is another major arcana, by the way. The Emperor and the Empress are two. But Magician is all about manifesting. So what I'm hearing is you have the power to change your situation. Okay. You are trapping yourself in this energy. Focusing on what didn't happen or didn't work out when you could be focusing on better things. So that's one of the things is just the magician manifest. Know that you have the power to change your situation. And then I'm also, there was one other message I was just going to say. So that the fact that we had the Empress blocking this 10 and the Emperor is the outcome, it just makes me, if there is a twin flame dynamic, if any of you watching have that, it could mean that once you do this healing and balance yourself, that brings this, the other counterpart back. And then they come into balance. So I just was getting that as well. Okay. So that's awesome. Okay. Well, and that would explain why I brought these cards over. Yeah, these are the ones, these are some that I never ever use. I don't even remember who, let me see. These are the Heal Yourself reading cards by Inna Segal. Let's see. I think I've used them on my Facebook page once or twice, maybe. I love them, but I'm usually not drawn to them, but today I was. And then we get 4 swords coming out, so no wonder. Okay, let's see for air signs. What needs to be healed? What is being brought up for healing? What's being brought up for healing for air signs in June? What should air signs work on? I don't shuffle very, kind of clumsy. Maybe that's why I don't use them that much. Whoa, bunch that wanted to come out. All right. I'm just gonna take the one that flipped over on its top and then this one that came out. Oh, okay. Cannot make this up, you guys. All right, so the first one I was drawn to was sexuality, and the one that when the bunch flipped out and it flipped over, soulmate was on the top. So for the ones of you that were resonating with me as far as this being a romantic situation, this would seem to confirm that there's somebody maybe that you had thought was your soulmate, or somebody that you were extremely attracted to, and they didn't reciprocate, and that's why you have this spilled milk. So that's something that you need to face and heal from and close out. And again, the card that came right after the soulmate card was rejection. So this is obviously tied to that situation that I just mentioned, but there definitely could be childhood wounds of rejection, and possibly, if this is resonating with you with this romantic situation, but it could be, even in a job situation, if someone passes you over for a promotion or to head up a project or something that you were wanting to work on, some different opportunity, you can maybe feel rejected. It can bring up these feelings, this 9 of Wands, of feeling unworthy, of feeling, lacking confidence. And so these situations sometimes come up in our life, and they trigger you, and they force you to face these feelings and think about it back to childhood. I know for me, being on the twin flame journey, I've been triggered, not lately, but because I've worked through a lot of these things, but sometimes stuff comes up and I'm like, where did that come from? And a lot of it for me was rejection and abandonment, having friends you'd come back to school after a summer and they wouldn't, you'd go to sit with them at lunch and they wouldn't talk to you, act like they didn't even know who you were. That happened to me repeatedly. My friends changed like every year, and I mean, or you'd go to the skating rink and you'd be the only girl that a boy wouldn't ask to skate with, that type of stuff. And it seems silly now. It's like, well, big deal, I mean, people are starving in the world, and it's not to be minimalized, because these are core wounds that develop. They shape who you are as an adult, and you want to be the best version of yourself in this life that you can be, so that you can have a happy life, right? So you can have healthy relationships, so you can teach your children how to deal with these things and face these things, so that it doesn't start manifesting in their reality later on. I can just say, I know in relationships I would get very defensive. It was very much, this Seven of Swords and Nine of Wands, and just like very defensive, withdrawal. Just, and now that I recognize why this stuff has happened and I faced it and healed it, and one of the very powerful things you can do is when you start realizing what these things are that are triggering you, right? And what it's bringing up. What are the memories that it's bringing up? And one of the things I did was I wrote letters to the people, as my childhood self, like, and there were times that I wasn't nice to kids either, because I was being treated a certain way, and it made me feel powerful, and I felt horrible guilt about it. I would think about it, and so I would write apology letters to these people. I would write forgiveness letters to the friends who abandoned me or whatever. And I would do meditations. You can find guided meditations on YouTube. Some are free. The YouTube ones are free, but other ones, a healing heart meditation I did. It'll take you, there's some that'll take you back to your childhood, to certain memories. And then you really focus on that pain, and then you let it out. So that's what I'm being strongly guided. I just wanted to share my experience with you, because it's not just a romantic adult situation. It can be, and it can certainly hurt, but most likely it's bringing back some sort of experience. It's triggering that same feeling in you, that you've not healed or resolved. So that's just something I wanted to say. And if for some reason you can't really think of anything, and you think, well, I had a happy childhood and I don't know, and you might want to look into regression therapy. I don't do that, but I do know some people who do it. It's kind of sort of like hypnosis, I guess, but like guided meditation. It'll take you back and help kind of bring things to the surface. You can also ask your angels and guides for messages in dream state, as far as, things that you need to work on or focus, and it might take you to a situation, and you'll just know when you wake up, oh my gosh, I'm starting to have that happen, where it's like, oh, I need to look into that. So it's really powerful. Yeah, and the next one too that came out was love. So this is definitely, somebody who's feeling rejected in a love situation, definitely picking up on that. Let's see what else we've got here. I'm going to bring out the angel healing cards. All right. What do we need to be healed? What subconsciously went? Whoa. Okay, those all flew out. So we're going to just. What needs to be healed? Everything in the deck. For all of us, that's the way it is. Crystals. Okay. So this is just, again, I don't think I have my crystals deck. Oh, no, wait, I do. So crystals came out. It just says, the energy of crystals supports you and helps with your present situation. So, since I happen to have these over here, guess what? We're going to see what crystal you might want to look at to help with your healing. Air signs in June. What crystals? Oh my God, you guys, I don't even know what to say right now. I don't. I feel like there's one other one that wants to come out, but that first one alone, I don't even know. Yeah. So earlier, I think I said several times that, you've got to close out this, whatever, this disappointment, this heartache, these wounds, because there may be reoccurring patterns of this, this Seven of Swords, this Eight of Swords, Nine of Wands energy. It could be a reoccurring pattern. I think I said that in your relationships. Either you end up putting up with people doing that to you, or you were doing it, or both. It might be a little bit of both. So peridot, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I think it's a green. I think it might even be a birthstone. I don't even know, but it's green, yeah, because it's showing in the picture. But it says life lessons. You can break free from reoccurring negative patterns by praying to know the lesson and blessing they contain. So it's all about learning. Once you finally learn that lesson and you start healing these wounds, you can break free, close it out. And yeah, the universe will probably send you different lessons after that. But you get to this point where you start recognizing what's happening. You're like, okay, this person keeps coming back around in my life or whatever. The situation keeps manifesting through someone else because I have not properly closed it out. And then you learn that what you need to do. So this is a crystal that can be used. You can either wear it as jewelry, you can put it in your pocket, you can just have it around your house, you can put it under your pillow. Some crystals, just be aware. Some of them I put under my pillow, and I noticed great benefits. If you put too many or different combinations, might keep you up all night. So you don't want to do that, but you could try it. The other one that came out was malachite, which I'm not surprised at all to see. In this deck, it talks about prosperity. There's a positive shift in your flow of divine support. But for me, malachite has always been the heart healer. It's about healing these wounds, right? It's both of these are green. Malachite and peridot are green, which represent the heart chakra. And so to me, there's this what needs to be healed is some sort of the wounds. It is all about your heart, and to some extent, it can affect other chakras as well. It can affect, I think it's your solar plexus, your power, your fear, your confidence, those types of things. But ultimately, I think the wounds, you got to start with your heart. You got to start with your heart. You could go to YouTube and just Google heart chakra healing meditation, and there could be an actual guided meditation that you could do at night if you want. There's probably music. I think a certain frequency of music for each chakra, and they're just beautiful. You could just have them on when you're relaxing or whatever, or just try to meditate. So I think that's pretty much it. Just definitely strong messages, air signs about closing out these reoccurring patterns, and you have the power and the tools to do it. You have the power and the tools to do it, and I think that you have the desire to do it now. You're ready. I'm seeing it pretty strong because of the all these cards coming out of the world here. And the Nine of Pentacles, you're wanting to do it yourself. You're wanting to put in the work for yourself because you want to come out as the Emperor, stable, strong, balanced. And I think you will. So best of luck to you guys. I hope you enjoy your June. I will see you soon.